Everyone who associates with Donald Trump, is friends with Donald Trump, or works for Donald Trump is bound to be screwed over by Donald Trump. That is a lesson you either have to learn from experience or are smart enough to learn through observation, which clearly Kash Patel isn't, because he is on the chopping block and just got thrown under the bus and stabbed in the back by Donald Trump after two of the worst congressional hearings that I have ever seen. Donald Trump has just completely abandoned his FBI director, largely because of what he had to say about Epstein, and we're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we see how Donald Trump is giving up on Kash Patel completely, I want to start with why, and its admission that Kash made right here.
The president has, you've seen the picture of the woman's body with the writing and the president's signature. The president says that's not his. Okay? President says it's not his. The Republican colleagues say it's not his. The administration say it's not his. Will you be opening up an investigation into the Epstein estate for putting out a fake document with the president's signature linking him to the world's largest pedophile ring? Will you be opening that investigation into that?
On what basis?
On what basis? They literally put out a fake document, according to the president, with a fake signature. It's a forgery of the president of the United States signature. That's the basis.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, I look forward to that investigation.
How dumb do you have to be as Kash Patel to say yes to an investigation into a signature that is so obviously Donald Trump's? This is not going to be weeks of grueling forensics, trying to break down every little smudge, every little flick of the wrist. It's Donald Trump's signature. How are we debating this? And Kash Patel agreeing just shows how quickly he folded, which he did a lot during this hearing. Also, because I don't know how anyone couldn't. The evidence is so clear that this is an administration full of liars covering up for Donald Trump. And also just goes to show how little they care or take this seriously. They think this is a joke, and they think that MAGA is stupid, which, by the way, if you voted for Donald Trump and are still backing him, yeah, you're an idiot. How can you believe anything that this man says? How can you not understand that he has been conning you this whole time? I think about the farmers in Iowa, shocked that Donald Trump doesn't have their back, literally praying to God that the tariffs go away. You know what would have been easier? Voting. Yeah, but you were so scared of, a black woman president. I can't handle it. I'm just a fragile little insecure white guy in Iowa. And now your farm is fucked. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening. And it didn't stop there with Kash Patel's screw-ups when Eric Swalwell pushed him right here.
Remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the Attorney's
It's a simple question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is simple.
Who
did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes
if you're
or
gonna mock
no,
me.
Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency by focusing on reducing violent crime in this country and the number of pedophiles that are legally harbored in your sanctuary cities in California? I'll work with you on that.
Regular order, Mr. Chairman.
Director,
I belong to the gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
So yeah, Donald Trump's name is in the files. Kash Patel knows it's in the files. Kash Patel has said it's in the files. I don't know how many times I can say Trump, Kash, finals, Epstein. It's all there. It is all there. There's no running away. There's no cover up. There's no hiding. There's no funny language that you can spin. It is just so obviously clear. And it's also clear that this administration that was supposed to be of TV hosts who are good on camera or good in front of Congress, Kash Patel is not one of them. He can't yell his way out of this. He can't finagle his way out of this. And it's why Donald Trump's response to him and how much confidence he has in Kash was this.
Because you don't have complete confidence in Kash Patel. What are you hoping comes from his testimony on the Hill today?
Well, first of all, I think that Pam Bondi has done an unbelievable job, and everybody agrees with that. And Kash, if you take a look at what he did with respect to this horrible person that he just captured. He did it in 2 days. It took other similar cases 4 days, 5 days, 4 years, if you look at certain shooters. Now, I have confidence in everybody in the administration. My administration, and a lot of people are saying it, not just me, it's so far the best administration ever formed.
Oh man, it's so over. It is so over for this guy. Donald Trump saying, do I have faith in Kash Patel? Do I have confidence in Kash Patel? Well, Pam Bondi is doing a great job. Oh man, it is so over for Kash, because of course it is. Of course it is. How do you sign up for Donald Trump's administration without knowing that he is willing to shit can you so fast? He does not care about anyone. He doesn't care about Kash Patel or Pam Bondi. He certainly didn't care about Charlie Kirk. It is all about not what you can do for Donald Trump, but what can you do for Donald Trump in that individual instant. This is not a long-term thinker, because he's thinking about in the short term, he's probably going to be in heaven, or not in heaven. He's going to be wanting to go to heaven. This guy's going to hell. We know that. That's one thing that I can tell you. We're all sure of that. But Donald Trump is always going to screw you over. It just goes to show how shallow and like the lack of understanding that these people have. Like, that should be disqualifying. Wanting to work for Donald Trump should be disqualifying of being in government, because it also shows your short-sighted thinking, that you don't understand how anything works, and that Donald Trump is always willing to screw you over. But these people have such little going for them except for their podcasting grift that, of course, they jumped at the opportunity. And it is why we have a podcaster in charge of the FBI right now. I don't want to call a podcaster like a C-rate podcaster. He wasn't even good. He wrote a bunch of dumbass children's books that I guess some of the illiterates of the MAGA movement read or bought because they couldn't read, and they have a lot of pictures. I'm being a little mean today. I think that's fine. I'm pissed, and we're allowed to be pissed that this man is putting us in danger because he is a moron. Jasmine Crockett, just as pissed, had the same thing to say.
I definitely take issue with a number of decisions that Donald Trump makes, especially when it comes to the people that he decides to appoint to very important positions, including this one, because I did have to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining. Yet we are supposed to believe that you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye. I know that you got a little upset and you put on your show for your boss because it seems like you're trying to save your job when it came to talking to Senator Booker yesterday. But let's go through some of your failures. So before you were even confirmed, and I think one of my colleague from Georgia, pointed out that you are already targeting career officials so that you could direct illegal firings. Mind you, these cases that you were so upset about, which are the ones tied to Trump, the cases came through his handpicked FBI director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, we're happy because now we feel safe. I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists, because I specifically as a black woman definitely don't feel safe. And frankly, my colleagues have been real nice to you today, and I applaud them, but I don't have the same demeanor because I know that multiple colleagues on this side of the aisle have faced death threats. In fact, somebody tried to kill one of my colleagues. And frankly, I don't know if this FBI or under your leadership, if those people would have been caught. I don't have any confidence in you. And if we start talking about the reasons that I lack confidence, we could start with you not just wanting to acknowledge some simple facts. Simple facts like the vast majority of the threats are coming from right-wing extremism. And I know my colleagues have tried to stress this, but I decided that I would maybe do it in a different way. Number one, I have a couple of UCs. Ken Buck, one of multiple Republicans receiving death threats for voting against Jim Jordan as House Speaker.
Without objection.
Another one, Republican lawmaker says she received death threats after voting against Jim Jordan in Speaker's race.
Without objection.
In addition, there was another one from another colleague who now is leaving Congress because they said that they were calling his wife anonymously and threatening her life to the extent that she ended up sleeping with a firearm.
Without objection.
Okay, so here's the deal. How are we supposed to have confidence when you're sitting up here telling the Senate yesterday that it will take you 14 years before you can get the FBI fully staffed to do their jobs? You're also now redirecting resources so that they can go and play ICE agents on the streets. You're getting rid of your most qualified people, and even when it came down to somebody that you consider to be a friend, you were posted up having some fancy dinner to the extent that you posted not only once erroneously, you posted twice erroneously as it relates to catching somebody, and then you want to go and say, let me take a victory lap. Because honestly, if it wasn't for parents deciding that they were going to turn in their child, it seems like y'all wouldn't have got there.
Kash Patel is maybe the most unqualified person in our government, which is shocking to say, considering that like beer pong champion was the real title of weights that got Pete Hegseth his gig. And that certainly hasn't worked out. But I think it's important to remember that when these bad actors want to talk to us about how the left is responsible for political violence and we need to apologize and condemn, they haven't taken any steps to keep us safe, not only by addressing a policy failure, that is the epidemic of gun violence in this country, but Kash Patel, who was ill-equipped to do his job and could have, if not for this alleged assailant's family, let a mad shooter on the loose for God knows how long. They're talking about these text messages that they allegedly have. You weren't on top of those. You couldn't have found those. You couldn't have tracked those down before and identified this individual. It was 33 hours. And then Kash Patel claiming credit. Get out of here. Stop it with that. This is the person that we have in our government. So before MAGA asks you to condemn, to apologize, to mourn, which, by the way, we're not doing, before they ask that of you, how about they reflect? How about they look at Kash Patel? And how about they fix that situation at the Bureau? Because it's not really great right now, and it's not reflective of someone who actually cares about the safety of this country. We're going to make that abundantly clear. We're going to call that out, and if you want to support that on the show, straight talk. That's it. As always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And as I've been saying for the past day, if you want something to watch to just relax and chill, I had a fun interview with Governor Westmore that you can watch right here. Really appreciate you taking a look at it. Keep on fighting. Don't let anyone silence you. Until next time, I will see you soon.